so well away from the transit van.
Hiya, welcome back to the channel. So, we have a Ford Transit here, and on the floor next to it we've got some oil and a filter. And there is some other filters as well, but let's start with this. This video, I'm going to do a service on it. Now, I apologise in advance because I've got a bit of a cold and I can't talk properly, even worse than normal, so just have to bear with me. Let's get on with the shitter anyway. And I'm going to start by going underneath, and if we look there we can see that we have the sump plug, which is a 13mm. There is our oil filter, and then there is something to catch it in. You need something quite big to catch it in because this shitter takes like about 12 litres of oil or getting on for that. So let's start by undoing this. And now that is finger tight. Now I'm not going to take it all the way out, and there is a reason for that, which I will explain. I'm going to take this off, which is a 27mm. So I'm going to undo that nice and carefully, which is just a case of turning it anti-clockwise. So I'm going to undo this, and the reason why I'm not dropping the oil and leaving it to drain is because this engine, I don't know if this engine is actually affected by it, but a lot of the 3.2 litre engines that Ford do, you've got to change the engine, the oil fast on them, otherwise the oil pump can lose its prime and then it won't re-prime, which is just a mint design. So let's put something underneath that oil filter, and then I'll leave it to drain at the same time. So let's take that out nice and carefully without dropping it in there. Yes. And at the same time, take this out. That's nice and carefully dropping that everywhere. And now we have our oil filter removed. We can inspect the condition of it and see that it was worth changing. So let's fit our new one first. Let's remove this O-ring because we've got a new one of them. So let's take that off. And then just fit this one in the same manner. Yes. And then this into there, like so. And then now we can refit this in here and just tighten it up. As you see, it's going really well. Yes. Not forgetting to torque it up. Click. And then the same with this. We can put that back in there, which is our sump plug, which has an O-ring on it as well. So if there's anything wrong with the O-ring, I need to change that, but mine's alright, so I'm just going to put the shitter back in. And click. Once again, don't forget to torque that shitter up too. And so now, apart from cleaning up the Exxon Valdez, we shouldn't need to go back underneath the van. So let's put some oil in it, which this is the stuff I've been sent for it, so let's throw that in. It'll take quite a lot of it. Yes. And now I've installed 2 of them, which is about 10 litres. That should definitely be enough to run it, which I don't want to not do for any longer than they have to. It's showing on there, that'll be alright. So let's start it up and see what happens. Yes! So fortunately the oil light has in fact gone out. Now on these vans, as I mentioned, I'm not sure if this engine is actually affected, but the 3.2s in the Rangers definitely is. If you leave the oil to drain for too long, what can happen is the oil pump can lose its prime and it won't prime up again. In that scenario, I've never been in that scenario, but if I was in that scenario, I think what I'd do is take the oil pressure sensor out, lock the breathers up, and then ram an air line down the dipstick and try and blow the oil so it comes out the pressure sensor, and then it'll prime it up, I think. But I've not been in that situation one, I've just heard of it, and that'll be my method to try and sort it out if it did happen to me. Anyway, let's get on with the shitter. And so now I've obviously topped the oil up to be near the top level. We can put this back on. Now there is actually another oil filter on this van, it's there. It's a centrifugal sludge extractor spinner type filter, some shit like that anyway. You don't need to change it every time, but yeah, not doing it this time. But that just comes off. I think you turn it a quarter of a turn, and then it's on like a bolt in the middle with like a spinner doof. If you take it off, it's very simple. Anyway, let's get on with the rest of the shit on this one. Starting with the hair filter. So first, the easiest way to do this is just to take this off here and then just take the whole thing out. So unplug your MAF sensor and then undo this, which is 7mm, and then release these two clips, and it should, if I remember rightly, just lift out, take that off there. And this comes out of here and it just about fits out of there like that. And then we can see our air filter, which looks like it is probably due for a change. So let's replace it with this nice shiny new one, which is just a reversal of the removal. I don't know if you know, in there I've cleaned the inside of the box out of it as well. So that goes in there and fits there. Yes. Don't know if you heard that on camera, but it's thundering, so that's a good sign. So let's feed this back in there, like so. And then on the back of the airbox, there's two, you can see that down there, but there's two fingers where my finger is, which slide in and hook in at the back of the airbox. So then when it hooks into there and you push it down, it sort of levers shut. And then we put this back on here. It's a reversal of taking it off. Very simple. Yes. And then that is the air filter done, and that just leaves us with the fuel filter to do. Yes. And eventually, that did stop, so let's get on with it before it starts again. So first, I'm going to take this off. You don't have to, but it's easier to, and it's two 8mm bolts to get it out of the way. So let's get this out of the way. Yes. And that, with that out of the way, gives us more room to get to our fuel filter. And so, I've got this ready to put the fuel filter into, because it's going to drip some diesel out, and to remove it, it should just be a case of grabbing it nice and carefully and then just twisting it that way about a quarter of a turn, and then just pull it downwards like so. And then now we can put that, yes, trying not to spill diesel everywhere, let's put this in here. And then once we have confirmed that the new one is the same, I mean it's slightly longer, but it's the bit where it fits that matters, is the same. I need to fill this up with diesel out of a nice clean container. Yes. And then when you've got it full of diesel, you need to install it in the opposite manner to taking the old one off. Now it will sort of only fit in one place. It'll only push up properly when it's in the right place, like so. Yes. And then when you've got it located properly, you just twist it until it won't twist anymore. It'll just lock into place, and you're twisting it that way. So that way, let's reset that. And let's see if the shit will start. Yes. And that is us done. So I put that shitter back on, and now we're finished just in time because it started pissing down again. So I want to leave it there. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the usual shit. I'll see you next time.